Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Connections with Cass podcast. My name is Cass, and I'm a psychic medium and spiritual coach here on this earth to help bridge the gap between the spirit world and the physical world. In this podcast, we talk about all things spiritual, all things healing, and a little bit about mediumship as well. In today's episode, I am excited to be talking about the new year. Today is January 2nd, so we are fresh into 2026. And I thought it would just be a good moment to talk about manifesting and kind of calibrating ourselves for the new year and aligning to the best year yet. So for me, I never really thought of January 1st as the new year. It didn't feel natural to me. And now I recognize that the astrological calendar actually ends on the spring equinox, and that is when I feel reborn. Ironically, my birthday is right before that. So I always kind of equated it with like, oh, I'm another year older. And that's why I feel reborn around that time. I've always gotten new jobs around that time, moved around that time, just things kind of always shift around that time and the world starts to come alive again. The air starts to smell like things are coming alive, the trees start to become greener, and it's just this amazing rebirth period that really feels like something new is starting. So, at the end of March is typically when I feel the most renewed and like I could shift my entire next year. But that being said, the collective energy around January 1st really lends itself to tune into because so many other people that do follow the normal calendar and maybe aren't as tuned in are starting to align their visions for the future to the best possible outcome. And whenever the collective shifts their energy into something, it truly does create a thinning of the veil. This can happen around Halloween too. There's a lot of people that say that the veil is thinner around Halloween, whether it's actually thinner due to astrological circumstances or it's just that everybody is tuning into magic and in kind of a space energetically where they're like looking for witchy stuff and ghosts and things like that. That creates a thinning of the veil. When our hearts are open to more and our energy becomes less dense because we are energetically tuning into things that we normally wouldn't, then it creates a thinning of the veil collectively for all of us, which we can utilize to be in deeper connection with manifesting, with aligning ourselves to our highest frequency and being closer to our spirit teams and really like having those conversations with our spirit teams, with God, source, universe, creator, in order to create our best reality. So rather than, for example, on Halloween, tuning in to, talk to your ghosts in your house, using that time period to really connect to your inner intuition and connect to the earth even. And the fall especially is a beautiful time to kind of reflect on what you're going to let go of during the winter. And the seasons, I think, are beautiful ways to reflect and reset each season in order to align yourself every couple of months with what you truly desire in life. And so that being said, in the middle of winter, I don't think it's a bad idea to do a check-in and maybe create some resolutions or maybe create some things and just check in with, okay, that list that you made in the fall of what you wanted to let go of, what you wanted to reset this winter as you have this pause that nature gives us. Are you in alignment with those things that you are feeling? Are you following through on the intentions that you set at the beginning of the winter? Are you in alignment with the life that you want to live? And so this portal that happens with the collective can really help us just do a little bit of a reset and check in with ourselves and check in with our team to align to our best possible life. Now, that being said, I think you can do this every day. So a lot of people will ask, like, what do you want to call in for the next year? And I really take the approach of I want to call in peace, happiness, groundedness, and just aligned energy every single day. And I want to become the best version of myself in every single moment of every single day so that I attract the experiences that my heart desires. And I think after looking at so many of Instagram posts over the past couple of weeks about manifesting in 2026 and it's the year of the horse and we're moving out of the year of the snake. I really feel that astrologically placing limitations based on our signs, based on what kind of year it is astrologically does limit our ability to create the impossible. I really feel that approaching life in a way that astrology comes last in my spirituality is best for me because when I have a notion in my head of something that is going to happen for me, it's almost like we're predicting the future. It's almost like we're limiting ourselves to what this year could hold for us. instead of recognizing that we are limitless. The universe is at our disposal, inside of us, around us, in order for us to create the impossible. Whenever I hear people talking about astrology, and even the 2025 was the year of the snake and 2026 is the year of the horse, I just don't tune into it because I recognize that my divine power and my divine light internally within me is more powerful than anything that limits me or tells me how this year is going to be. And have I noticed patterns that are in alignment with astrological events? Absolutely. But have I noticed that sometimes my actions in the events that happen in my life do not line up with those astrological times and events? Absolutely. And the more time that I spend on focusing on how the 2025 was the year of the snake and how I was burned by it or whatever, or how I learned from it even. But the more time I spend on that, I just feel limited. And so I approach 2026 personally with this open mind and this open heart, with every day being a new possibility and aligning my energy to my truth, to my light, to my connection with God, to my connection with my spirit team. And I take one day at a time. And that does not include checking my horoscope every day. So after seeing so many posts about the year of the horse and the year of the snake, it's interesting information to me, but I don't think that we should be using that to manifest what we want to come into our lives in 2026, because every single person's experience and relationship with the stars and astrology in general is very, very different. And we don't have, I mean, unless you have an astrologer on call every moment of every day, why am I feeling this way? Why am I feeling that way? Is this going to work out for me? Is this not going to work out for me? It's just a waste of energy and a waste of time. And so I didn't plan on this podcast episode to be the one where I talk about astrology, but here we are. And I think it's relevant to, especially on social media, the type of content that I see a lot of people relying on in order to create spiritual growth. And for me, I just have a very different take on it. So I wanted to share it with you and encourage you to look at 2026 as an amazing opportunity to do whatever you want. Every single day, you have the opportunity to completely change your life. The only thing that limits us truly is like children and people that we depend on us for care. So if you're taking care of your parents or another family member, or your children, that is truly the only limit we have. Your job, your house, location, or everything. You could change it tomorrow. And you might say, no, I can't, Cass. I have this bill or I have that. Those are constructs of our mind. And the best thing that we can do is break out of them. Prove to yourself that when you break outside of your comfort zone, when you take a risk that is really in alignment with your heart, but it doesn't make sense financially or it doesn't make sense practically, like prove to yourself and form that deep trust and relationship with your spirit team and God source universe creator that it is going to work out for you and you do have the potential to do anything you want in this life. Like go for that trip. We lose sight of the fact that we manifest into this new year and we think about the year that 2026 is going to be and we pray that it's not going to be like 2025. I think that we should look at every single day that we are alive and take the blessings from those days rather than look at how 2025 was the year of the snake or how 2026 hopefully will be better. Yes, it is amazing to kind of recognize within yourself what emotions you wish to embody as we go into a new year. And I think, as I said before, it's a great time to like check in with yourself and see if you are kind of living in alignment to what you really want to experience. And that means embodying the feelings that you wish to have. If you wish to have peace within, are you taking action to find that peace? Are you taking action to balance your energy? Are you starting to meditate? Are you starting to journal? Are you starting to seek healing modalities like shadow work or inner child healing? Or are you waiting for the peace to find you? In order to truly embody these qualities that we wish to have, we need to take inspired action that allows the space energetically for that emotion to be present. So if you are feeling really drained and like you don't have a lot of fun and your life kind of feels just stagnant and dull, are you taking inspired action to try something new? Are you trying a new art class? Are you trying a new workout class? Are you just going for a walk every day? Are you getting out into nature? Are you taking inspired action to call in that emotion so that you can embody that emotion? Because what happens is our bodies and energies become so dense. So if you imagine Your soul is in your heart space. And a lot of times when we're in these places that are kind of lower vibrational, where we're going through stress or grief, or we're just feeling super drained, our light within becomes kind of dim and our physical body takes over. And that's a lot of times when we have physical health issues that are actually related to stress and negative emotions that we're storing in our body. So our light is dim, our physical bodies are responding in ways that aren't conducive to our physical health or our emotional health. And then the connection of our light within to the universe or God, source, creator, whatever you would like to call it, feels very foggy to us. It's never gone, but our awareness of it and our ability to feel it is very difficult when our light is dim due to the negative emotions that we harbor inside. And so there's no space for anything to come in. It's blocked, right? Our physical body is super dense, and maybe like your guide can send you some peace and it might stick for a minute, but then it's gone. And it's up to us to create that space. And the only way to create space is to shake things up, is to, move things out of us that don't belong there, and or put ourselves in uncomfortable situations where we have to utilize different parts of our energy in order to move through it. And so, yeah, these New Year's resolutions that we make, or even any changes that we want to make in our life, aren't necessarily going to just show up for us. We have to take inspired action and create space energetically in order to receive them. And not only can we receive them when we do that, but we need to be able to hold them as well. And holding that energy is very different. And I think I've talked about this in a past episode where it's like you see these people that maybe have manifested $1 million and then they win the lottery for $1 million, but then it's gone within a week because they don't have the energetic capacity to hold it. So we might actually find love, for example, and then be in the most beautiful love that we've ever been in, but then old habits creep up or old insecurities creep up, and the next thing you know, it's gone, or it's a very traumatic relationship because we called in something that we couldn't hold. And we have to do the inner work in order to hold new energy within us. Otherwise, there might be a little bit of space in there because you really want it, you really desire it, your heart is open to it. But if your insecurities, if your traumas, wounds, conditionings, and programmings aren't in alignment with what you're calling in, it won't be able to last, and or it will be detrimental to your mental, physical, emotional, or even spiritual health. So really doing the inner work and creating space for these things through any healing modalities that you feel called to is one of the best ways to actually be able to receive new energy and new experiences into your life. And in addition to that, pushing yourself outside your comfort zone and breaking free of that energy, we get into all of these energetic patterns by just doing the same things every day. And our body starts to become used to it, and our senses become really numb to the human experience and life itself because we're just doing the same thing all of the time. And so going into new spaces, even like going to get coffee at a new place or driving a new way to work, or just breaking up the energy in any way that feels uncomfortable for you, is the best way to start to become more sensitive again. And when you become more sensitive, you start to notice the nudges. You start to notice the signs and synchronicities, and you start to notice what you're truly being called to follow, rather than being in patterns and just engraved in the conditioning of your mind and following your mind's comfort and safety. Because typically those lead us into those stagnant phases, or those feelings of not moving forward, those feelings of like life is happening to us and not for us. So we have to take the initiative to push ourselves outside our comfort zones and to create the space to hold these manifestations as we move into the new year or any time of the year. So as I said, I think that really reflecting on your growth and reflecting on and what you are looking to change in your life is amazing to do. I feel like I think each season holds a different energy and a different way to move through life. And so in the middle of the winter is a great time to reflect on what, are you actively letting go of what you want to let go of? And then come the spring, kind of looking into what you want to renew in your life, what you would like to call in that is fresh, that is new, that is exciting. And then in the fall, what you are looking to let go of. And then starting that process of letting go through the fall and just slowing down a bit. And then in the winter, really taking the time to clear it out. The winter time is a great time to do shadow work as well and just really get to the bottom of yourself and what is holding you back, so that when the springtime does come, you have that energetic space to call in the new. But as I said before, January 1st is also a great time to just reflect and kind of use this collective energy, this portal that is happening, the thinning of the veil due to everyone else doing their New Year's resolutions and thinking that this is a complete new year, it can be a really good time to utilize that energy to reflect and recharge. And there are a couple of different ways to think about manifesting as well. I do recommend that you look up your human design and see if you are a non specific manifestor or a specific manifestor, because the two types of manifesting are very different, and your energetic alignment based on the way that you were born might be conducive to one more than the other. For example, I never felt like I should predict exact, or not predict, but call in exact experiences for myself. I kind of just went with embodying emotions that I wanted to feel, and whatever experiences I was meant to have come to me. I think that is a good way to start for everyone. But there are certain individuals who are specific manifestors that it is in energetic alignment for you to call in very specific things, like the universe and your team will actually put the exact experiences that you're meant to have in your awareness through your dream state, through your meditations, through your connection with them. And so when you're seeing those things, it is very tangible, but it is actually what you are meant to manifest. Whereas for non-specific manifestors, and I am one of them, it's almost like I just open it up to how good it can get. I take the approach that I can't imagine how good it can get. So I will think about the emotions that I would like to feel in the coming year, especially in the springtime when I look to call in new things. It's like, what do I want to feel in this new year? Or for that matter, every single day, because every single day is a new opportunity to live your best life. So opening up to what do I want to feel tomorrow? What do I want to feel, or most importantly, right now? And opening my heart up to receiving whatever I am meant to receive and thinking that I don't even know how good it can get. So why would I limit myself into certain experiences? Now, when I am meditating, sometimes I will have visions of things that, seem like they could happen in the future that I would really enjoy. So I will open my heart to those, but it's not like I have to have those in order to know that my manifestations are working. I know that I'm doing the work internally to call in the experiences that are matching a frequency that I have worked hard to be at. And I think that's the other thing to note with manifesting that we talked about a little bit ago. It's not about achieving anything through desiring a certain vision for yourself and then getting those things and like winning a prize. It's about creating energetic space and a frequency within yourself to call in what is meant for you and that matches you. And how good it can get will be based on how you are operating in your energetic frequency as you move about your life. And that's why it's so important to do the inner work and to really become the best version of yourself and continuously do good for yourself and others in order to maintain a frequency where the best possible outcome can come in. And really take note of where you are holding yourself back, whether it be in your relationships, whether it be in your finances, whether it be your homebody and you never leave the house and then you wonder why you feel kind of isolated. Like really taking note of your choices that hold you back in life and starting to take inspired action to shift your reality. And that inspired action can be as small as just not putting things off. At the beginning of my awakening, I've talked about this in other podcast episodes. But one of the things that I did to really help myself with that procrastination or that stagnancy or that feeling of I can't or I'm not that person, I'm not that kind of person that has a clean house. I'm not the kind of person that organizes things. I told myself every single day that I was that person. I was the person that I was saying I was not, because I realized that limiting belief about myself was holding me back from not only being organized and having a more grounded life, but it was holding me back from calling in my highest timeline because I was operating at a place where I felt powerless to myself. And as we started this episode, we talked about how there's nothing more powerful than our light inside, and we can truly transform our entire life every single day if we want. And nothing can dim our light when we take responsibility for our own light. When we stop placing blame or responsibilities on others' energies affecting us or external circumstances or situations affecting us, and we dig deep within to ourselves, there is literally nothing more powerful than that. And so when you're being honest with yourself as you start to change your life and you start to dig deep into your own awareness, into your own energy, that is when true transformation can come. And that is when you can call in the most beautiful experiences for yourself and really embody those emotions that you wish to have as you move forward. And anything that you envy in someone else or you criticize or judge in someone else is a reflection of something that you desire within yourself. And so if I ever find myself doing that, and especially with people posting their New Year's resolutions and like reflections on the past year, I do find myself, unfortunately, like judging or thinking about, "Oh, I wish I was like that." And it's like when we can look at those things that we notice about others and then apply them to ourselves and become that person that we wish to seek in others, like we have that potential. And if it's in our awareness, we're being called to become that person even. So really taking responsibility, doing the inner healing work, doing a deep dive into who you really want to be in this life and finding your light and your power within is the key to manifesting, creating that space, holding that energy, and allowing yourself to be free from any mental constraints or limitations, and utilizing the seasons of the earth to help facilitate growth and rebirth and reflection and recharge. So I hope this helps you as you move into 2026, and I will see you in the next episode.